Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Well, I've done it at last. I've got a new car. Well, not a new car, in fact it's a little bit older than me, and it's a Rover P4 80. It's got the 2.3 litre engine, 4-cylinder, and I bought it about 5 days ago now, and it's done 122,000 miles. It's got MOT history from 1976, and it's got a full folder of work that's been carried out since then, and it's got quite a bit of history with it, but that's for another video. What I want to do today is to show you around the car, show you how solid it is, a few of the problems, and just a general overview. And in a later video we'll be going into more detail about what needs to be done, any bodywork that needs doing, things like that. So this is just a brief overview, so why don't we begin? Okay, let's have a quick look around the car. It's actually got a homemade number plate. The chrome at the front looks particularly good, especially the bumper, and the overriders got a little bit of pitting on them, but it's okay. The same with the headlamp surrounds. Now, I don't know what these are. They might be for seeing the edge of the car, but you can't miss that, can you? If anyone knows, please make a comment below. The same this side, and sure looks quite good there. At the bottom, if you look onto there at the balance, if you can see, it is a little bit crusty, and the paint started to flake and crack quite a bit, so that's one of the jobs that needs doing. It was resprayed about 12 years ago, I think. Well, I'll have to check on the history. And it's okay, but it's dull. And it really needs redoing, but it's passable. And what I will be doing is giving it a good detail on the paint. And see here, I don't know if it show up on the image, but there's cracking in the paint there, and there's a couple of other areas where it's doing the same, but I think it just needs a little bit of work, as I say, detailing it, and I think it'll come up a lot better than it's looking now. I mean, it's passable, yes, but it could do with improvement. Yeah, the chrome at the bottom on the driver's side is not too bad. There's a little bit of a ding down here, as you can see. The chrome around the side windows is not bad. Again, it's got some pitting in it, but it's certainly passable and it's not bad. It's one of those final details that you do to a car. But let's look further around. Again, it's got a little bit of cracking in the paint there. The rear bumper, again, is not bad. The overriders are are the items that are quite pitted, and this plinth here is a little bit pitted. Again, at the back we've got a homemade number plate, I guess. It must be. As we go around, there's a little bit of crustiness there, and that's one of the jobs that will need doing. As you can see, there's a bit of bubbling in the paint there. It's micro blisters by the look of it. And again, a little bit of splitting there, cracking of the paint. And the chrome down this edge bottoms of the door are very good, no dings or dents in those. And the other major bit that needs doing is just here. It's a bit crusty. It hasn't gone through, but it needs sort of digging out and repairing properly. So as you can see, bodily it's not bad, and it is solid, and in the next video I'll probably go through the work that's been done, and it's a shame that the paint isn't in better shape and it wasn't done to a better standard than it was about 12 years ago, but it is what it is. Okay, let's have a look under the bonnet. As you well know, it's an aluminium bonnet, which makes it very light and easy to raise. Now the rear boot lid should be aluminium too, but for some reason it was replaced with a steel item, and at some point I will be replacing that for an original type. But yeah, let's have a look inside the engine bay. Everything looks pretty original in there. I'm guessing that this is the original washer bottle from the look of it, from what I've seen with a little bit of research. And those are incredibly expensive for what they are if you want to replace them with an original, but that's the market, I suppose. It's still got its dynamo. And it looks to me, from looking at other areas in the car, that the wiring loom is more than likely original. There's a little bit of weeping of oil at various points, but it's nothing major. But there is, being parked up for a while, there is some evidence of leakage, and it doesn't look as though it's coming from the engine itself. It looks like it might be the gearbox, but before I make a qualified diagnosis, I think I need to do a bit more investigation. So there, it's not a bad engine bay, but it needs a bit of tidying up, and it could be made to look a little bit better, which again is one of the jobs that I'll be doing. So let's have a look at the interior now. Just open the back door. So as you can see, the back seat is in pretty good condition. It just needs quite a bit of feeding just to get it back to its original state and to be soft, because it feels a little bit hard to the touch. I mean, the seat's soft, but the leather could just do with a bit of reviving. Same with the door cards. The door cards are very good. There's nothing wrong there. Again, the door cards could do with a good clean. I don't know when the last time they were properly cleaned, and the carpet at the bottom is looking a bit grubby, as are the carpets. And I think they're salvageable. It might not come across as green. It's a light green in colour. It might look a bit browny on the screen, but I don't know until I get the video up and edited. But yeah, they need a good wash and cleaning, and maybe even dyeing if I can. The front bench seat is a little bit, it's not cracked, but it's showing a lot of signs of use. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not better by any means. The driver's side, as you can see, is probably worse. But again, a good application of leather feed over a period of time will renovate that quite nicely. This door armrest is probably the worst, and I don't know whether that is salvageable at all. It looks a bit too cracked to me, but I'll certainly have a go at doing it. And again, as you can see there, it just needs a bloody good clean. The wood all around is in very good condition, to be honest. If we sit inside, you can see there on the dashboard, very nice. The clock, as you'd expect and is common, is not working, so that needs to be looked at some point. And this stereo is an original His Master's Voice. Now, will it work?
When we were in a supposedly safe Christian environment, and that's not
yes,
all churches in Northern
it will.
Ireland are the same, because they're very much not.
And that, I believe, is quite a rarity. And again, I couldn't get it to work a while ago, and I was looking at costs of replacements, and quite expensive. So that's a big bonus. As you can see, it's all in pretty good condition in here. Now, this is the push button for the, as you can see, the washer jets. There is, I don't know whether you can see it, but there in the footwell, just there, is the foot pump for the washer jets. Now it's been disconnected, and I'm not sure whether this is an original fitment, but I suspect not, because the foot pump is there. So again, if anyone's got any ideas or comments, please let me know. So yeah, it's a really nice usable car in good condition. As I say, I'll go through in the next video in a bit more detail the areas that do need work, but quite a lot of work's already been done. The bodywork probably 10 to 12 years ago, but I'll go through the invoices, etc. In the next video. There's a few other quirky little things on here, and one is this badge here saying supplied by Radwan Motors, 30 to 32 Cowper Street, Birmingham, 19. Cowper Street is long gone. I think it went in the late 60s and was rebuilt. It's not that far from where I live. Now I've tried to find out a bit more about this company, but nothing's coming up. Now the registration number is YNV758. The YN indicates that it was registered in London. So that was the first owner. So whether this company, Radwan Motors, sold it second-hand is probable, but I'll try and find out a bit more details of the history before I confirm that. And we got the ashtray here. And in the corner there, we've got a twin male socket, which is unusual. If it was for a parking lamp, then all the ones I've seen, these would be female. But I suspect there could be the opposite type. And then we have here the usual tool tray. The toolkit is pretty much complete except for the tyre gauge, or the pressure gauge, sorry. Even still in there is the brush up or touch up canisters, or whatever you call them, in Shadow Green. Pretty useless now, I guess, but it's nice to get it almost complete. For some reason this has melted. Why? Oh, God knows. Whether it was the summer of '77, who knows. Let's put that back. Okay, that just about wraps it up for this episode. Probably a bit long and rambly, but a little bit longer than I anticipated, but I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe, please like, and please comment in the comments below.